Hello everybody, Skippy Gameplay here. Today we're going to be covering my top 10 favorite Zelda games of all time. This is a list that's been a long time coming for a lot of my viewers that know how big of a Zelda fan I am. I want to take a second here to let you guys know that this is my personal opinion, and that if you differ in opinion, that's okay. As a matter of fact, that's a good thing. If your opinion is different, I highly recommend you let me know in the comments. That way discussions can start, and that's always fun. Anyway, let's kick this video off with number 10. Starting everything off at number 10, we have A Link Between Worlds. I put this game at number 10 because of a few reasons. Don't get me wrong, the game is absolutely great, but there are a few things that make me put it at number 10. First is the lack of a gripping story. Now don't get me wrong, I do love this game, but the story isn't the greatest. I don't know who they were trying to hook with this Zelda, Hilda, low roll thing, but it just isn't gripping anymore. As a matter of fact, the only moment in this game that really shocked me was a major plot twist involving this guy, Ravio, which brings me to my next grief, which is the item rental and buying mechanic. It doesn't make the game bad, of course, but it does take away the fun of finding a key item in a dungeon and using that item to solve fresh and exciting puzzles, like most other Zelda games. Overall, this game is a great little Zelda game that any 3DS owner should pick up. Now here's a Zelda game that is criminally underrated, and that is Minish Cap. This game is a great portable Zelda game and is super impressive for being on the Game Boy Advance. The reason this game is at number 9 isn't because there's anything I find wrong with the game. I mean, the graphics and controls have aged fine, but the issue here is the game is too short, having only roughly 5 dungeons, or 6 if you count Hyrule Castle. Other than that, no complaints. The story, graphics, and gameplay all hold up, so if you haven't played it yet, I highly recommend it. At number 8, I put A Link to the Past. As much as putting this game so low is sacrilege, I have my reasons. Now don't get me wrong, I think every single Zelda game is a masterpiece, even including the second game, you know, the one nobody in the world likes for some reason. But the massive hit third game in the series is here just because of my own opinion. I just don't find myself drawn to this game quite like the others above on this list, and I don't know why. I guess to me the only real issue I have with it is that the graphics seem dated to me, and the controls don't really hold up today. I can hear the gasps and sighs. I can hear the internet going, "How could he?" Like there's someone out there who cares about my opinion. How could Skippy put Ocarina of Time this low? Just cause I'm sick of it. Yeah, I'm sick of it. You know what I used to do as a wee brat? I'd start a new save, finish the first 3 dungeons, get the Master Sword, and then delete the save file and do it all again, multiple times in a single night. What was I thinking? I ruined one of the best Zelda games in history for myself, and I can't undo the damage. I'm sorry, internet, but that's all I got. I love this game, I really do, but I just ruined it for myself as a kid, and now I can't love it like I used to. I'm putting both Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass here due to them being quite similar in quality and appeal, but wow, if there aren't a more underrated group of Zelda games than these two. I mean, maybe besides Oracle of Ages and Seasons? But this just broke my heart. I grew up with these Zelda games and I love every single little bit of them, but it just seems like the world has a vendetta against them. I think these games are some of the most charming in the series, and if you haven't tried them yet, please do yourself a favor and go out and try them. A main gripe people have with them are the reoccurring dungeons, being Temple of the Ocean King from Phantom Hourglass and Tower of Spirit in Spirit Tracks respectively. I actually really don't mind either of them and actually look forward to visiting them most of the time. Well, I guess that's just me. Next game! Now we're getting into my favorite Zelda games of all time. At number 5 I put Majora's Mask. I absolutely adore this game. From the 30-day cycle mechanic that makes side quests more tense and engaging, to the mask system that lets you take on the forms of various Termina inhabitants. I don't want to get too in-depth with this one, since there's a lot to unpack here, but The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask is one of the most emotional and somber games of the franchise. This game pulls on your heartstrings with sad elements in both the main quest and many side quests. If you're a big fan of Zelda, it is imperative that you at least try this game. It isn't for everybody, but it's surely for me. Let me tell you a quick story. Now imagine 10-year-old Skippy playing Skyward Sword for the first time. swinging the sword around and just having a load of fun with the motion controls, the combat, the flying. After a while, 10-year-old Skippy gets to a part where you have to fly your loft wing around an area to break targets. This part of the game is mandatory and cannot be skipped. 10-year-old Skippy tries again and again to finish the segment, but alas he cannot. He drops the game for roughly a year due to his uncontrollable rage. He comes back and remembers, oh wait, I'm stuck at that awful flying station again. 11-year-old Skippy boots up the game, hops on the loft wing and finishes the challenge first try. 11-year-old Skippy exploded and his remains could not be found. Yes, this game took me a year to complete, but you know what? I don't care. I love this game. After not playing for a year, I came back and finished the game the same day and I loved it. I still cared about the characters, I still loved the combat, and I still love the game even after a year of not playing it. I guess that just goes to show how good this game's story is, and how much I love it. At number 3 I put Twilight Princess. As many of you know, I really love this game. This game has a special place in my heart for being one of the first new Zelda games my family has ever bought. Rewind to 2006, I'm like 5, okay? It's around Christmas time, I think. I don't know, I was 5. Anyway, I believe my mother had bought a copy or had been given a copy for Christmas from my dad or something, but when that game became part of our family's possessions, you better believe I didn't put the GameCube controller down, because the Wii version's for chumps. But I never put that game down. I loved it since I was a little kid, and nothing can take that part away from me. Not to mention the graphics still hold up incredibly well, like, not even the Wii U version, the original GameCube game still looks great. If you haven't already played this game, you're doing yourself a major disservice. I have never found myself so divided on two video games before. For number 2, I chose Breath of the Wild. Not because it isn't good enough to be number 1, but because I just love what's at number 1 more, you know? Anyway, let me tell you why. Breath of the Wild is gigantic. There's so much to do in this game, and being brutally honest, I've never even finished all the shrines before. There's just so much to do. And I guess that might be this game's downfall as well. Every good reason makes this game one of the best ever created, but the tedium of collecting 800 Korok seeds or finishing 120 shrines just feels like fluff to extend the amount of time one would spend with this game. I'm all for more things to do, but Breath of the Wild does this to such an extreme extent that it just doesn't feel right putting it at number 1. But it's still very close to a tie with number 1, which is The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. I love this game with all of my heart and soul. This is one of the Zelda games I've been playing for almost my entire life. This game is just so graphically impressive, so fun, and so charming that I couldn't help but put it at number 1. Those who know me know how much I love this game. I seriously couldn't get enough of it even if I tried. I spent so much time with this game that I couldn't help but subconsciously ingrain this game into my head as number 1. Well, it may not be what the internet agrees with, but it's my opinion. If your list differs, I'd love to hear about it in the comments, and make sure to be nice to other people too when they give their opinions. If you like this video, please make sure to like the video, and if you like my stuff, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please check out my other stuff, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.